I'm just coming back from a little holiday weekend. Not weekend, I went through the week, so not a technical weekend, where I was in New York having some really good relaxation time away from all the work. And while I was there, I was able to hang out with a book the entire time. And that's the book we're going to talk about today, which is Maria Semple's latest book, Go Gentle. So stick around, let's get into it. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Chantel Levon, and here I talk about all things books and all things book related. So if you love reading books, you are in the right place. If you came upon me on accident and you are like, you are not into books, stay, because you will be into books, because I can promise you, I can put a book into your hand that you will love. But so stay. That's right. Okay, so today I'm talking about a book that I just finished reading, so it is very fresh on my mind. And that is a book that I shared with you. It is Maria Semple's Go Gentle. This book came to me by way of a book club that I'm participating in. It's not my normal book club if you've hung out with me before. It's not my fantasy futuristic book club. This is a book club that I discovered by way of a fellow Substacker who is hosting a book conversation about this book. Where is it? At Solid State Books in DC. So if you happen to be in DC on May 28th, you too can join this book conversation. I will link that information in the show notes below. So that is how Maria Semple's book came into my universe. This book was published this year in April of 2026, I think the 14th of April, but I may have that wrong. And it is, the genre is romance and comedy. And this is not a genre that I typically read. If you all are familiar with my channel, you know that I really don't read romance. This is actually the fourth romance number 4 that I've read in probably 2 years or a little more, maybe. I don't know. When I decided to read the book, I had no idea what it was about. I have seen the cover. It is, I think it's the 122nd Oprah Book Club choice book. So, you know, Oprah has her books. They have a lot of visibility. So I have seen this cover in bookstores but that's all. I just saw the cover. The cover didn't really do anything for me. It didn't entice me to like, oh, I want to go check out that book. So the reason why I have it is because of book club. And that's what book clubs can do for you, you guys. Book clubs, let me give a little announcement for a book club. Book clubs can help you expand your reading shelf. Oftentimes, if you're like me, we kind of get into our genres, we have our writers, we know what we like, and we keep, going back to those same wells. My book clubs have really forced me outside of my comfort places, and I really do appreciate that. So for those of you all who have been with me from the beginning of my channel, you will know that my favorite book in 2024, I think it is, or it could have been 2025. My favorite book was from a book club, and it was a book that I never would have picked for myself at all. Chain Gang All Stars. Read that book. Check it out. Let me know in the comments below when you do. You will thank me. It's a really good book. Okay. So on to this book. This is a romance comedy book. Those are the genres that it is in. And I do not read a lot of romance. And I'm thinking about that I don't read a lot of romance, but I do not read this genre at all. This is actually the 4th romance novel that I've read in maybe about 2 years. The first 2 I really did like. My first one was Kennedy Ryan, and I really liked Kennedy Ryan. I'm going to read another one of her books in the summer. It was Before I Let Go, and I read it like in one trip, like in a car ride to Tennessee, and so it was really great. I then read Tia Williams. Oh gosh, it has something to do with Harlem. The name is escaping me of the book, but it's a Tia Williams book, and it's set in Harlem. And I also enjoyed that as well. It was like historical fiction romance. And then I read Emily Henry, which is right up there on my shelf. I tried to read that one. I got like maybe into the 2nd chapter, and I had to set it down. I might come back into it this summer, but I had to set it down. And so this one is book number 4. Now, the thing about this is that this is a book club, and I knew I wanted to attend this book club and support Substacker, who is running that book club. So I bought the book without knowing anything about it. I was like, all right, this is what we're reading. I'll buy it. And so as I was finding my way through the book, I like was like, oh, this is a romance. Oh, okay. And it situated me. But before I get into my thoughts, which I'm not going to spoil, let me give you a little bit about what this book is about. So it's set in New York, which is really cool because I was reading it when I was in New York. And the main character is Adora Hazard, and she's like in her mid 50s. She is a single, divorced mom. She has one child, a teenager, and she is had a life, right? She just has a she's had a lot of life to her life, and her story is very interesting. When we meet Adora in the story, she is working in a library, like museum slash library, called the Lockwood Library, which is a very prominent and prestigious space in the city. And her job is to tutor twin boys of the Lockwood boys in philosophy, in a virtue and character. And she's equipped to do this because our Adora is a philosopher. And she's a philosopher that came to philosophy later on in life. And so if you read the story, you'll find out her journey. I don't want to give that part away because it's really good. So part of what we get is we get her background story. We know that she's divorced. She lives in this apartment building in New York City. And what she has done is she has put together what she calls a coven of other single women that she kind of gets. And when apartments come available, she helps them to move into said apartments and kind of create system and community for women to be able to support each other as they are aging and hopefully age in place. And so she has a lot of spunk about her. I really love her character. She's witty, she's spunky, she's real. She says the things. She's very, vulnerable and smart. And she's just very dynamic. She is bright like this color pink. I think so. I do think this was a good color choice for her. It reminds me of her and her character. And so along the way of this story, we get a lot of the background to her life, how that she arrived to where she is and how she feels about life. And one of the things that she feels about her life is that her life is pretty settled. She's figured it out. She is a philosopher with a personal philosophy on how she can go through life in measured ways. So she's figured it out. Her life is kind of solid. And then, like all romance novels do, things get undone. And with the introduction or invitation or the lurkings of a heist that is happening, she meets a man, Digby, who kind of undoes her world, right? And then you go on the journey in that. It's a pretty, straightforward, I think, love story. You can kind of see where it's going to go as you're getting into it. I think that's one of the things I don't like about love stories is that they're very predictable, and I like surprise and probably a little bit more nuance in my stories. But the interesting thing about this book, which I did enjoy this book, I thought it was fun. It was fast paced. It was interesting. And the parts that I found interesting were the parts that really didn't have that much to do with the love story. So let me clarify that. I liked their interaction, especially in the beginning when they were meeting each other. I liked being able to have a window into, a real kind of dating or other possible dating with two older people that are coming together. And all the things to navigate. Some hilarious writing, you guys. You want to check it out. I really liked that. I think the thing that I didn't like is that their actual relationship, how it was handled, seemed very wonky to me. And I wasn't interested in it in that part. I also liked the pacing in the beginning of the book, which was a fast pace, it had a good rhythm to it. But towards the end, it just was like a whirlwind. And the pacing didn't, to me, in the ending, it didn't support the book in a whole, didn't honor the book. So my biggest disappointments with this was the ending and the pacing of how it ended and their relationship. Not so much their interactions, but their relationship. I think if we would have taken out the romantic part of their relationship, or if that part was done differently, I would have liked this book a lot more than what I did. That being said, I am happy that I read it. It was entertaining. It was something that was, good and light to read when I was in New York, and helped to give me a pulse of the city. It also was a good counter to the other book that I mainly spent time with when I was there, which is The Count of Monte Cristo, which I'm still working my way through. It is a heavy book, y'all. And it was hot. When I was in New York, it was in the 90s. The 90s. And so lugging around my book, which I weighed before I left, 1.8 pounds, in the 90-degree heat. And y'all, the air conditioning was not working in a lot of these places. I don't understand what was happening. I just couldn't lug it around. So I ended up spending a lot more time with this book than with The Count. I wanted to spend more time with The Count, but I just couldn't bring him everywhere. But it's okay. It's okay. He's home. I'm home. We're going to have good time. We're in air conditioning. It's cooler. Now, I mean, here it's 50 degrees and raining. The weather. But I am looking forward to my conversation. I might come back and do like a review part 2 because I am interested in what other people have to say about this book. But I did want to just come on, say hello to you all, and let you know my quick thoughts about this book. I think that if you are wanting something that's fun, a little bit of escapist, that is, that comes at you from a little bit different angle, I think that that's good. She also does, I do want to say this, she does bring up some really meaningful topics that I think can be discussion worthy around, I don't want to say it because I don't want to spoil it. It's some good discussion topics in here that come up. So there is some substance, but I just think maybe I'm not a romance person. Maybe I am expecting a little bit more in romance. I'm trying to struggle with this. Let me know your thoughts. I'm happy to know what you think about it. And if you have read this, please let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. If you haven't read this, I am interested in you reading it so you can tell me what you thought about it. And also, I know that this is not her first book. I did do a little bit of research on the author, and I know that she has several books. And so if you've read her other books, I'm curious to know that too. A woman stopped me in the train as I was coming back, and she said that she's read her other books. I think the other one is like Bernadette. Where'd You Go, Bernadette? And she read this one, and she said that she liked the Where'd You Go, Bernadette a lot better than this one. So I'm curious about it all. I'm glad that I read it. It was light. It was lovely. It was physically lighter than The Count. And so I'm not mad that I read it. I don't know if I would pick up another one of her books. And if I did, it would have to be really situational for me to do so. That's all I have for now, you guys. It was great hanging out with you. As always, you know what to do. First, before you do that, before you stay safe, have fun, and always be reading, please like and subscribe. It helps the algorithm to know that we exist here and helps us to grow our channel. And if you are on Substack, please find me at Chantel Levon. Always be reading, and visit my Substack page, which I will also link in the show notes below, because there I just go a little bit deeper in my articles, and also in building a really fun and active community in that space too. So if you like to talk about books with other people, join Substack. It's a great space. All right. With all of that being said, now I'm ready to say goodbye. I hope that you all have a great, it is Friday, you guys. So I don't know when you watch this, but I hope you have a great weekend. Memorial Day is coming up. I hope you do something fun, eat some grilled food, hang out with family. And as always, support a local indie bookstore, either in person or online. Be very, very kind to yourself. Treat yourself well. And you know what to do. Stay reading. Bye.